Welcome to SubscriberNation.com, where you'll meet the creators behind amazing online video channels, sharing their stories, inspiration, and hottest tips, and helping you learn from their success. Hello, Subscriber Nation. I've got a really exciting guest for you this week. We had a little change up in our schedule, so I'm going to be bringing you someone that I know really well, the creator of the hit show Vancouvria. It's a web series. I bring you Brighton West. Well, thanks for having me on the show. So Brighton, can you tell us a little bit about you and the show Vancouvria? So I've been making short films since the late 90s, and Vancouvria was one of my most recent projects. Vancouvria is Portlandia set in one of Portland's suburbs, Vancouver, Washington. So how Portlandia makes fun of urban stereotypes, Vancouvria takes all those skits, flips them on their head, and makes fun of suburban stereotypes. Great, and let's show a quick clip from the show.
Do you remember high school?
Yeah.
Do you remember how all you wanted to do was watch TV all day and drive your car everywhere?
Yeah.
You didn't care about saving the planet, getting a tattoo?
Yeah.
There's a place where that still exists as a reality, and I've been there.
Really? Where?
Vancouver.
Washington?
Yeah.
Like just over the bridge from here?
Yeah.
That's great. Can you tell us where you draw your inspiration from? I draw my inspiration from many places. One is, Portlandia, obviously. Fred and Carrie, they started out with Thunder Ant, kind of an early web series that they were sharing with their friends and really made it big. But I also draw inspiration from how different we are between urban areas and suburban areas and how we have so much pride in those differences. What about a time that you learned from a mistake? Well, this is kind of a funny mistake, I guess, but it's something I definitely learned from. And that was when the series was becoming really popular. Portland Monthly Magazine had a little sketch where they drew a picture of the Scott Weidlich, the star of Vancouvria, and highlighted him in the magazine. And I was a little bit jealous. I said, this is really the project that I came up with. But that's the point when I realized that you really need to be in front of the camera to be recognized for what you're working on. What's one piece of equipment that you can't live without? Well, I think, in terms of a piece of equipment, the series is pretty simple. We shoot it on a couple of Canon, either 60Ds or 5Ds or 7Ds. We do two at a time, and I guess then probably the most important piece of equipment is the software Pluralize, because it's able to sync those two cameras along with the audio track that we record separately into one piece. Let's talk money. Did you make money? Did you spend money on your series? Well, the first season of Vancouvria I paid for out of my own pocket. And then we had a Kickstarter campaign. We raised $3,500. Thank you to all the supporters of the Kickstarter campaign. And then we were able to start running ads. YouTube changed the rules there, so we were able to become an official partner and start running ads on the channel. Sadly, we only made, I think it was about $103 over all those views. So that's kind of when I recognized that advertising was great for the really big channels, but maybe not so good for the smaller channels. And Brighton, what's next for you? So what's next for me, I think you already know about it, it's Subscriber Nation. It puts me in front of the camera, interviewing people who are doing similar things, creating web series, anything online, subscription video, and I'm really enjoying it. And lastly, how can we find Vancouvria? So you can find Vancouvria at vancouvria.com. There's lots of articles out there on the internet about it if you just Google Vancouvria. Or if you go to YouTube /Vancouvria, you'll find it there too. Well, thank you very much. I hope that you, Subscriber Nation, have enjoyed this interview as much as I have, and we'll see you next Sunday. Thanks for watching. Now it's your turn. Let everyone know what you learned today in the comment section at subscribernation.com, where you'll also find more hot tips and resources. And if you aren't already a Subscriber Nation subscriber, click here. Click here to find another interview, or here to see more from today's guest.